We're doing a lot to protect this environment.
There's a feel that comes in the spring, a touch of hope, a new beginning.
As we see these powerful images, many thoughts and questions come to mind. Who is causing this much harm? Why is this happening? Why are we allowing this? The answer is very simple. We are. Humans are the direct cause of climate change. Members of the top carbon-producing countries like China, the United States, India, Japan, and Russia are emitting greenhouse gases into the air at historic levels.
The Amanda informal settlement is just a few kilometers from industrious Boksburg. Despite its proximity to the city, many residents do not have enough to eat. 925 million people in the world don't have enough to eat. 98% of them live in developing countries like South Africa. 400 million children are starving worldwide. And 1 in 7 people in developing countries suffers from hunger.
You know, I think that the climate change science is far from settled. The fact that we've had, if anything, cooling global temperatures over the last decade, notwithstanding continued dramatic increases in carbon dioxide emissions, suggests that the role of CO2 is not nearly as clear as the climate catastrophists would suggest.
I find shelter in this way. To cover, hide away. Can you hear when I say
I know how it feel to wake up fucked up, pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. People look at you like you's the user, selling drugs to all the losers, mad Buddha abuser. But they don't know about the stress-filled day. Baby on the way, mad bills to pay. That's why you drink Tanqueray, so you can reminisce and wish you wasn't living so devilish. Shit, I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, flipping old 62s, cause GED wasn't B.I.G. I had to get P.A.D. That's why my moms hate me. She was forced to kick me out, no doubt. Then I figured out, Knicks went for 20 down south. Packed up my tools for my raw power move. Glock 19 for casket and flower moves. But Trump's trying to stop my flow, and what they don't know will show on the autopsy.
Climate change affects each and every one of us in one way or another. But there are some groups that are affected far worse than others. This occurs for a couple of reasons: political representation, economics, geographical location, and natural resources.
Poverty can intensify the impacts from climate change.
Living at the margin of society and being highly exposed, like living in a floodplain or being homeless, makes people vulnerable to climate change, not a flood or a drought or heat stress per se. So it's about these inequalities that exist in every society, both in the North and the South, that make people vulnerable. And often they're associated to gender, to age, well-being, health, class, race, ethnicity, and whether or not people have access to resources and a stake in decision-making processes.
The other problem is with regards to drought, and we are still experiencing that this time.
At those times when we are expecting bad weather, it's hot, 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 and then all of a sudden it's raining non-stop when we thought we were supposed to be having dry weather. And now it's kind of unpredictable, like we can no longer say like this is actually the dry season and this is when we have the rainy season.
Climate change threatens the very existence of Tuvaluan identity and culture, and many Tuvaluans are fearful of a future where relocation is their only option.
I also worry that my kids will grow up not knowing, my grandkids or maybe great-grandkids will forget their Tuvaluans even, or maybe not even talk Tuvaluan at all.
मोटरसाइकिल संभाल रहे थे कुछ
Get past these mounds. Past the hill mounds.
Faces 300, sometimes 400 feet tall. Pieces of ice were shooting up out of the ocean 600 feet and then falling. The only way that you can really try to put it into scale with human reference is if you imagine Manhattan. And all of a sudden, all of those buildings just start to rumble and quake and peel off and just fall over and roll around. This whole massive city just breaking apart in front of your eyes.
As disturbing as these images and data are, there is a solution, a very simple solution. We can talk, debate, educate, eliminate, or even procrastinate about the consequences of climate change. But the solution isn't an easy one, and it isn't outside of the individual. The solution lies within each individual on a personal level. This starts by accepting and understanding change within yourself. As students, we have the privilege of being ambassadors, leaders, innovators, and supporters of raising awareness to the severity of the issue of climate change. Each and every one of us has the information and tools and knowledge to make a difference in the future.
Wise is the way of the walk, eyes in the gaze when we talk. Rise from the stage, from the flame, from lines in the sand to the street. As long as I land on my feet, wise is the way of the walk.